it's Cupquake. Welcome back to another episode of Quake N Bake. I am so excited because we are finally in our new home. We got a new kitchen and we are gonna kick off Quake N Bake with something magical, perfect for the summertime. We are gonna be making unicorn s'mores. And a huge thank you to Google Home for this paid partnership. Let's go ahead and start some magic. So we think we need to set the mood before we get started. Okay, Google, play my magical playlist.
Okay, here's your Google Play Music playlist called Magical Playlist.
Now that that's taken care of, there's a few things that you're gonna need to make these s'mores possible. One of those things are cookie cutters. So we have these unicorn cookie cutters. They came in a 3-pack, but we're gonna use the unicorn head. You're also gonna need a food processor to mix all of your ingredients together. So add 3/4 cup of whole wheat flour, a 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of wheat bran, 1/3 cup of white granulated sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. All right, so once all of our dry ingredients are in there, we're now going to prep our butter. So you're gonna need 7 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and we're gonna cut this up into little cubes. So I'm gonna get help from my friend. Okay, Google, turn on unicorn magic.
Okay, turning the unicorn magic on.
So once your butter is cut up into little cubes, go ahead and add that into your food processor. So once your butter is added in, blend that together again until it becomes crummy. Okay, Google, turn on unicorn magic.
Okay, turning the unicorn magic on.
So now add a tablespoon of honey, 2 tablespoons of milk, and 1/2 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Okay, Google, turn on unicorn magic.
Okay, turning the unicorn magic on.
Okay, so once it begins looking clumpy, you can take it out of the processor and we're gonna kind of knead it together and make it into a nice little dough ball. So once you have a nice looking piece of dough, we're going to cut it in half and we are going to roll one piece of it in between 2 pieces of parchment paper. Make sure to peel back the parchment paper to make sure there's no wrinkles. And once you have it all rolled out, we're going to put this in the fridge to chill for about 30 minutes, and then we'll get to cutting the unicorn shapes. Okay, Google, set the timer for 30 minutes.
All right, 30 minutes, starting now.
All right, so now that we're waiting for our dough to chill, we're gonna start working on the rainbow marshmallows. So let's go ahead and get our mixer out and start that process. All right, so in a stand mixer, we're gonna add 3/4 cup of cold water with 3 packs of gelatin mix, and that measures out a little less than 1/4 cup of gelatin mix. So we're gonna go ahead and mix these and let it sit together. So now that's sitting, we're gonna add 1/2 cup of water into a small mixing pan along with 1 cup of corn syrup and 2 cups of sugar. So we're going to put this over a medium heat until it begins to boil. So once that mixture begins to boil, then you're going to turn the heat up to high, and with a candy thermometer, you're gonna cook it until it reaches 240 degrees. So once the mixture has reached 240 degrees, we're now going to turn our mixer on to low. Okay, Google, turn on unicorn magic.
Okay, turning the unicorn magic on.
So now we're going to carefully pour the mixture into the gelatin and water. Our timer just went off for the dough, so it's completely chilled. So now once the mixture's in, we're going to turn this to high for 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, Google, set timer for 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes, starting now.
So now we're going to prep some pans with some powdered sugar, a sifter, and we're going to cover the bottom of these pans with the powdered sugar. Once you've whipped for 5 minutes, go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract and make sure it's completely mixed in. Then you're going to stop whipping. You don't want to whip for over 7 minutes because you still want to add in the color. So we're going to divide the marshmallow mixture between 4 different bowls. So now that you have your marshmallows all separated equally, we're gonna grab our food coloring and color the marshmallows. So the ones that I bought are pastel colors, and I really wanna keep the light pastel-y colors. So I'm gonna start off with a little bit of food coloring and then work our way up. So when I'm pouring this mixture in, I'm going to pour half of each color into one corner of the pan. So now that you have your marshmallow in every corner, I left some so we can do double layer. You're going to just mix it all together to create fun textures. So you gotta kind of work quick with this because the marshmallow will dry and it'll become harder to work with. So now that I have one layer, I'm gonna add the rest of the marshmallow and create another layer. So now I'm gonna go ahead and cover the whole top portion with some more powdered sugar, and then we're gonna let it sit. So once your dough's chilled, go ahead, take it out of the fridge, and we're gonna preheat the oven for 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So now you're gonna peel back your parchment paper. Then grab your unicorn head cookie cutter, and we're gonna cut out the unicorn head shapes. So we went ahead and grabbed a fresh piece of parchment paper, and we're going to set our unicorn cookies right on them, or right on the paper. Okay, so once your cookies are cut out, the final step to give them that graham cracker look, we're just gonna take a skewer and we're gonna make little dots in the dough so they look like the graham crackers. So now they're ready to bake for 12 to 15 minutes. All right, so once we've let this go ahead and sit, we're now going to cut it out and cut it into pieces. So I'm just gonna grab a knife and go along the edge. So once we have the edges cut, we're then gonna go ahead and cut it into little squares. So now that it's cut into squares, I'm just grabbing a piece of parchment paper and I'm gonna plop it onto this, and hopefully all goes well. I'm gonna give it a couple taps to get some excess powdered sugar off, and then I'm gonna empty this into the trash. So they are pretty sticky, but if you're gonna use them for marshmallows right away, I think the stickier the better. If you wanna store them away for later, you can add some powdered sugar on all sides of the stickiness. So here are what the marshmallows look like, and they are so colorful. I love them. Okay, so now all that's left to do is grab a top portion and bottom portion of your cracker, put some white chocolate on the bottom. We're gonna set the top portion aside and grab a marshmallow. I'm gonna choose one that has a lot of color in it. Let's go for this one. And we're gonna set this right on top in the center. So the marshmallows melt really quickly. So I would recommend putting your microwave setting to like 50% power and leaving it in for no more than 10 seconds because it gets really runny and you just want to heat it up just a little bit. So once your marshmallow has a little heat to it, just grab the top portion of the cookie and press it down, and it should form to the shape of the actual cracker. Okay, so once you've added your cracker on top, you now have the most magical s'mores in all the land. These are great. I really love the way they turned out. They're just so fun and colorful. And sometimes when the marshmallow oozes out, it kind of acts as unicorn hair. And it's just like, that's what the unicorn looks like on the inside, right? So if you do put your marshmallow in the microwave for too long and it just oozes all over the place, all is not lost. There's a solution for that. You can literally just dip your unicorn cracker into the melted mixture and it comes out this really amazing marble, I don't even know what to call this. It's just magical, and it still tastes pretty yummy, so I wouldn't get too discouraged if you end up melting your marshmallows. So now that these beautiful creature s'mores exist, I have one more question. Okay, Google, are unicorns real?
I believe in unicorns. They sound something like this.
My life is complete. Google believes in unicorns, and so should you. All right, guys, that about wraps up this magical episode of Quake and Bake. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, let me know, and thank you again to Google Home for making this episode possible. If you guys can, I would totally encourage you to check out Google Home. It is so fun to ask questions, and it's just an amazing piece of technology to have in your home. Also, be sure to check out, there is some more content that other amazing creators have created using Google Home. I'm gonna add them at the end of this video. Thanks again for watching. My name is Cupquake, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Okay, so per your requests for previous Quake and Bakes, you guys really wanted me to taste test. So I'm gonna be taste testing a overly melted unicorn. You know, they all don't come out right. So they're all beautiful and unique on their own, but we're gonna try and taste test this. Oh yeah. Oh, that's delicious. Oh, that is, girl. Oh, I wanna eat the whole thing now. This is why I don't taste test.